We are counting down the 10 worst weight cuts in UFC history. Cases where superstars risked kidney failure, career-ending collapses, and everything in between. From high-profile hospitalizations to title dreams lost by a fraction of a pound, these moments show just how brutal cutting weight can be. Which incident stands as the most extreme? Let's begin the countdown with number 10. In 10th place, Nico Montano's weight cut at UFC 228 brought women's MMA into the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. Just hours before her first title defense, Montano was rushed by ambulance from her hotel to a Dallas hospital after her team cited kidney issues triggered by dehydration. UFC officially canceled her fight with Valentina Shevchenko, confirming that Montano was under medical observation after she stopped sweating, a clear warning sign of organ stress. As the first high-profile female champion pulled from a bout for these reasons, Montano's ordeal underscored that the dangers of extreme weight cutting extend across every division. Number 9. Johny Hendricks' weight cut. Disaster at UFC 192 sent shockwaves through the welterweight division. Just hours before his co-main event against Tyron Woodley, Hendricks was rushed to a Houston emergency room with a blocked intestine and a kidney stone, both triggered by his intense cut. Doctors administered IV fluids, but the damage was done. The UFC canceled the bout, leaving Woodley without an opponent and derailing Hendricks' run as a top contender. This single failed cut did not just threaten Hendricks' health, it forced the UFC to scramble, disrupting an entire fight card and exposing the ripple effect of extreme weight loss gone wrong. 8th place, Yoel Romero's struggle at UFC 225 exposed the silent dangers that can unfold even when a fight goes on. Romero missed weight for his middleweight title shot, stepping off the scale in visible agony after failing to shed the final pounds despite a last-minute extension. Ringside physicians later described his condition as one of profound distress, with concerns centered on kidney function after such rapid dehydration. Unlike other cases that ended in cancellation, Romero was cleared to compete, but he lost his chance at the belt and faced mounting questions about long-term organ damage. His ordeal stands as a stark reminder the body's limits are not always visible, and the risks can linger long after the lights fade. Number 7. Alex Pereira's first UFC middleweight weight cut revealed the sharp edge between championship ambition and physical limits. Transitioning from kickboxing, Pereira faced a new scale of dehydration. At his UFC debut weigh-in, he stood unsteady, shoulders slumped, eyes hollow, as coaches watched with growing concern. Footage captured him trembling on the scale, his body visibly drained. Pereira's longtime coach later pleaded for a move up in weight, warning that another cut like this could endanger his health and his career. The warning was not ignored. After a handful of grueling bouts, Pereira moved up to light heavyweight, where the risks of severe dehydration lessened. His case stands apart. Not for a dramatic collapse, but for the stark lesson it offered about the learning curve even elite athletes face when adapting to the brutal weight-cutting culture of mixed martial arts. The body's limits are non-negotiable, no matter the resume. Number 6. Conor McGregor's featherweight weight cuts became infamous not just for their severity, but for how they played out under the brightest lights in MMA. To make the 145-pound limit, McGregor subjected himself to punishing sauna marathons, hours locked in sweltering heat, sweat pouring as his body withered. Cutman and team members have described rituals that bordered on obsession, with McGregor refusing to quit the scale until every ounce was gone. Weigh-in footage from his title run shows a fighter almost unrecognizable, cheeks sunken, eyes hollow, skin stretched tight over bone. No hospitalizations were ever recorded, but the images alone sent shockwaves. The spectacle of a global superstar normalizing such extremes fueled a culture where brutal cuts became part of the show, setting a dangerous standard for those hoping to follow in his footsteps. In the 5th place, Darren Till's weight cut at UFC Liverpool became a cautionary tale. Under the harshest spotlight, a hometown crowd, hungry for a hero, and a fighter on the edge. The official scale read 171 pounds, 1 pound over the welterweight limit, but the real story unfolded backstage. Till later described feeling disoriented, nearly blind from dehydration, and barely able to stand. The pressure of performing in front of thousands of Liverpudlians only magnified the ordeal, with fan expectations colliding with the brutal demands of the cut. Interviews after the event revealed Till struggled to even walk to the weigh-in, and his team's concern as he slumped against the walls, fighting to stay upright. The psychological toll was as visible as the physical. Not long after, Till moved up to middleweight, admitting the toll of repeated extreme cuts had become too much. His Liverpool miss stands as a stark reminder the body has limits, and the crowd's roar cannot drown out the risks. Number 4. Charles Oliveira's title strip at UFC 274 stands as a harsh reminder of how unforgiving the system can be, even when the difference is just half a pound. On the morning of the official weigh-in, Oliveira stepped onto the Nevada State Athletic Commission scale, registering 155.5 pounds, just over the lightweight championship limit. The commission made no exceptions. Within minutes, Oliveira was stripped of his belt, making him the first UFC champion to lose a title on the scale without ever being defeated in the cage. The fight went forward, but only his opponent could claim the vacant belt. For Oliveira, this was not an isolated incident. Commission records show a history of close calls and prior misses. In a sport where careers are defined by razor-thin margins, a fraction of a pound erased years of work and altered the lightweight division's legacy. The price of a minor miscalculation was monumental. Coming to the top 3, Tony Ferguson's career is marked by a relentless cycle of weight cut struggles that few in UFC history can match. Between 2016 and 2021, Ferguson saw at least 3 high-profile fights canceled or altered due to complications from his repeated attempts to make the lightweight limit. Unlike a single catastrophic event, Ferguson's ordeal unfolded over years, each fight week bringing fresh anxiety and a mounting physical toll. He has spoken openly about insomnia and the mental strain of cutting, describing fight week as a period of dread and sleepless nights. Commission logs document not just missed weights, but medical suspensions and catchweight bouts as his body struggled to recover from the constant depletion. The cumulative effect was clear: performance declined, and the specter of another failed cut haunted every camp. Ferguson's story stands apart as a warning. When extreme weight cutting becomes routine, the damage is not just physical but psychological, eroding both career and spirit. In second place, Khabib Nurmagomedov's harrowing ordeal at UFC 209 stands as one of the most severe weight-cutting emergencies in modern mixed martial arts. Scheduled for an interim lightweight title fight, Khabib entered fight week walking around close to 190 pounds, facing the daunting task of reaching the 155-pound limit. As the final hours ticked down, the effects of rapid dehydration became catastrophic. Instead of stepping onto the scale, Khabib was rushed to the hospital, where doctors administered intravenous fluids to combat the acute loss of blood volume and electrolytes. The UFC canceled the bout, and official statements confirmed that the cut had pushed his body to the brink of collapse. Khabib later said he almost died trying to make weight. The cancellation did not just cost him a title shot, it exposed the razor-thin margin between elite ambition and medical disaster, forcing the fight world to confront how close a champion can come to tragedy in pursuit of a number on the scale. And finally, in first place, Renan Barao's collapse at UFC 177 stands as the most harrowing example of weight cutting's dangers in modern MMA. Just hours before his scheduled title rematch against TJ Dillashaw, Barao attempted to shed the final pounds of a brutal 22-pound cut to make the bantamweight limit. In the final stages, his body reached a breaking point. Barao fainted while stepping off the scale, striking his head in the process. The medical team rushed him to the hospital, where he was treated for severe dehydration and syncope, an acute loss of consciousness caused by the rapid drop in blood volume and electrolyte imbalance. The UFC had no choice but to cancel the main event, stripping Barao of his chance to reclaim the title and sending shockwaves through the sport. This moment, captured in slow-motion footage and confirmed by commission reports, revealed the ultimate cost of pushing the human body beyond its limits. Barao's ordeal did not just end a fight. It forced the fight world to confront the life-threatening reality behind the spectacle of the scale. Across all 10 weight cuts, one truth stands out. The real fight is not just in the cage. It is with the body itself. Even elite athletes gamble with their health for a number on the scale. In mixed martial arts, the most dangerous opponent is sometimes the process, not the rival.